Let's take a look at what's happened in the war in Ukraine over the last 4 to 5 weeks. For reference, we're going to be using live UA map with polls from June 1st and July 6th. Overall, not a lot of territory changed hands over the last month or so, but what did happen over here in the east, we'll get to that in a more detailed map in a second. I wanted to stay at this level for a second to show Snake Island that started June under Russian control with troops and equipment garrisoned on the island, but they've since left. Now, I've not seen any reports of Ukrainian forces now occupying that chunk of land, so I think it's safer to say now, July 6th, that neither side necessarily controls that island. I don't think territory gained is the most important metric in this conflict right now. More on that in a second, but if we are looking at that, because it's worth considering, in the east, Russia took Severodonetsk and Lysychansk over the last 4 to 5 weeks. I don't think it's appropriate to call that a breakout. That gives you an idea of kind of a maneuver type of warfare, and that's just not happening. This is more a grinding war of attrition. One big thing that's changed since the start of the war is Russian artillery. That's something the Russian military is built around. But during the opening phases of the invasion, some maneuver elements got out so far in front that they were at times out of range of their own artillery. And then we saw some of those supply lines backed up for miles. So even if the guns were in range, they might not have the ammunition to keep up a steady rate of fire. It looks like Russia's learned from that and adapted. In these areas that changed hands, Russia consolidated their artillery and really hammered Ukrainian positions until there was nothing left, at which point the armor and infantry would move in to take on any remaining resistance. It's a slow process, obviously incredibly destructive, but I think it gets at what might be more important in this conflict at this time than territory: human resources. I'm talking about something that can't be easily measured on a map but has a tremendous impact on the battlefield. A core group of seasoned professional soldiers that know a piece of equipment like the back of their hands. That's not something you can teach overnight, even in a war. And the longer this fighting drags on without any sort of break, the more and more those numbers get whittled down. One area to keep an eye on going forward is Kherson. I've heard what I'll call analyst speculations of a potential Ukrainian counteroffensive or new Russian offensive in that area sometime in the next few months.